Hi guys, welcome back to Playtech TV. Now this week I've got something a little bit different for you. Yes, that's right, I'm actually doing a bit of a printer showdown. So don't worry if that's not your thing, I've got plenty of gamer content, so if you just click over here, I'll have like a link to some of the other stuff we're doing this week. I got plenty of stuff coming out as usual, so don't freak out if printers aren't exactly your thing. Now, however, if you are interested in printers, if you've come from like a Google search or something like that, then this could actually be pretty interesting to you. So basically what the idea is here is that I was having a conversation just the other week about a business who were constantly spending like $500 a month on refilling the toner in their printers. And they were just basically sick of it. So they're asking, you know, what's the point in buying more toner when you can just buy a new printer? So basically the point of this video is to look at 3 different printers from different price points, different kind of specs, and see what's the point in actually buying a more expensive printer, like especially if you're a business and you're printing a lot of stuff. A lot of people, they just actually buy a new printer rather than actually refilling their toner or anything like that, instead of buying a new toner which might cost, you know, almost as much as the printer itself. They're just going out and buying a new printer. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we're actually going to see how these different printers perform against each other, and you know, see what it's like, see whether it's actually worth it. So the first thing I want to talk about is starter cartridges. So the main reason why people always want to go out and buy a new printer is because their old one ran out and the cost of toner is so expensive versus the price of a printer. They're usually sometimes about the same price. Like sometimes you can actually buy a printer cheaper than the toner. And the reason for that is that the toners that actually come with the printer is usually only a starter cartridge. So even though it looks like a normal cartridge, it's sometimes only half the actual capacity of a cartridge that you would buy off the shelf. So by actually buying the cartridge rather than buying the new printer, you'll probably get double the actual life out of it. So it can be a pretty big difference anyway. So that's my first tip, is just before you actually get rid of the printer, try getting a new toner for it first. Hopefully that should last a lot longer. So I've purposely chosen 3 completely different spec and priced printers purely for the sake of comparing what the sort of the vast opposites are like, and just to illustrate some of the mistakes that people make sometimes when they're choosing a printer. So first off, representing the color inkjets, I've got the MFC J6920DW from Brother. These are all Brother printers, by the way. Luckily we've got some buddies over at Brother and they let us borrow a couple printers just to do these tests, so thank you very much. The next one is the MFC L9550CDW, and this guy is a color laser printer. So inkjet laser there. So we'll have a look at the difference between those shortly. And then down the end here, representing the mono lasers, we have this grunty guy here, which is the HLS7000DW from Brother again. And that one is an absolute beast. You'll notice that it's actually on a different desk here. It's because I tried to put it on this one and the whole thing creaked and it felt like it was going to break in half. So that's something to keep in mind, that these heavy duty guys are definitely you know, not for the weak of heart.
First of all, let's look at the print quality. As you can see, the color laser gives a great result, but the color inkjet looks a bit washed out in comparison. This can be alleviated by using photo paper in the printer, but that's not practical in all circumstances. Obviously, as the mono laser printer doesn't print in color, we've left it out of this test. Now let's look at black and white performance. Once again, the color laser steals the show, leaving the inkjet and surprisingly the mono laser in the dust. And now let's look at how much these printers cost to run. The color inkjet costs $229.90 for a new set of toners, which will print about 1,200 pages. This means each page will cost you about 19 cents. The color laser, however, costs a massive $834.80 for a full set of toners. But these will print about 6,000 pages, so this actually works out pretty good in the long run, and you're only paying about 13 cents per page, and it has that great color printing quality we've just seen. Now the mono printer absolutely annihilated the competition here, with a full toner costing about $425, but delivering 30,000 pages of printing at the tiny cost of 0.014 cents per page. This makes it by far the most efficient printer we've seen today. Now let's look at the time it takes for each printer to print 10 pages of black and white. As you can see, the mono laser is absolutely smashing the other two here, and it finishes before they even manage to start. The color laser is still reasonably fast for a modern printer, but the color inkjet lags behind considerably. However, when you're at home printing, it probably doesn't matter whether you print out 10 pages in 10 seconds or 30 seconds, but at the office, it could make a huge difference over the course of a day.
So as you can see, the one that came out sort of the worst off in this test was actually the inkjet color. And the reason for that is simply, it's not really designed for high volume printing. This is perfect for home and small office situations. But for anyone that's printing 100 or more sheets a day, this just isn't ideal. So students, home office, family printing, everything like that, it's absolutely great, it's awesome, and I don't think you'll really have any issues with print quality or anything like that. If you're printing onto like photo paper and things like that, you get a much nicer picture out of it. Whereas because we've been printing onto just straight, plain A4 paper, it doesn't really show up the full kind of potential of this guy. And then next up, with our color laser. Now I was really impressed with the image quality on this one. This one probably had the best contrast and colors out of all of our testing, and I was really impressed by that. It was a lot more efficient than the inkjet in terms of cost per print, but still it wasn't quite anywhere near as good as our mono laser down the end here. And so this guy was an absolute monster here. This was the fastest printer out of all of our testing, and it's probably actually the fastest printer I've ever seen in my life. Now this guy is perfect for those big offices doing 100 plus pages a day, and the absolutely monstrous capacity of the toner in there at 30,000 pages per toner is just ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. So for anyone that is just absolutely cranking through that printing, needs it done fast, and is just constantly going, there is no question in my mind that this would be the absolute best printer in terms of value for money. The money that you would spend on toner alone on any of these guys over the course of a year, if you're doing 100 plus prints a day, you would absolutely save, and you would end up way better off just going for one of these guys. Now this guy isn't perfect, however. Obviously it's a mono laser printer, so it doesn't have any color options. So where does that leave us? Well, I think it's pretty clear. Basically we've got the color inkjet for home and basic use, and then we've got the color laser for people who just need an awesome quality picture, and also they have quite a reasonable volume to get through. So people who are printing, I would say, up to 100 pages a day with some color and stuff there, or if they just need a really high quality print. And then the mono laser for just straight up speed and volume, you just really can't beat it. So hopefully that clears things up for you guys and what the deal is with these different kinds of printers, and sort of what you're getting for your money. That's all really I've got to talk about today. I will be back with some more sort of gaming content and tech content very, very soon. Let me know what you thought about the printer video. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's something that's still important, and it's something that we've actually been asked to cover a few times. So let me know what you think.